Acts that invalidate prayer. Learning objectives. Assalamu alaikum, my beautiful friends. Today we will talk about an important jurisprudential ruling, which is the acts that invalidate prayer. Let's begin. Today my father explained what invalidates prayer after he saw us praying in the mosque. A group of boys were having fun, playing and talking during their prayer. My father told me that things that invalidate the prayer are the things that, if they happen, the prayer is invalid and must be repeated. This includes speaking intentionally during prayer, that is, while standing in front of Allah Almighty. It was narrated on the authority of Ziyad ibn al-Arqam, who said, "We used to talk during the prayer, and one of us would speak to his brother about his need until this verse was revealed. Observe the 5 obligatory prayers, especially the middle prayer, and stand in true devotion to Allah." Then we were commanded to remain silent. The meaning of being devoted is that they are humble. Now, who can remember what the ruling is on someone who speaks during prayer forgetfully but didn't say more than a few words? Well done, my wonderful friends. If the praying person forgot and spoke, there is nothing wrong with the prayer, provided he doesn't exceed 6 words, if he forgot or was arrogant of the legal surah ruling. Another thing that invalidates prayer, my friends, is excessive and varied movement, whether it is in different directions or playing with one's clothing, hair, hands, and so on. Movements that invalidate prayer are those that aren't part of the prayer. If 3 of these movements are done, then the prayer is invalidated and must be repeated. Another thing that invalidates prayer is dirtiness or impurity on the garment or body. If there is something impure on the garment or body of the worshipper during prayer, then a worshipper must remove it immediately, and if he doesn't do so, his prayer is invalid. This means that if the praying person has garbage thrown at him during prayer, and it is dirty, then he must throw it away quickly so that his prayer is not invalidated. Another thing that invalidates prayer is the exposure of some part of one's private parts. The private parts of a woman during prayer, as we know, my beloved students, are her entire body except the face and hands. As for the man, his private part is the area between the navel and the knee, and he must also cover the shoulders during prayer so that his prayer is not invalidated. If the private parts of a man or woman are accidentally exposed during prayer, they must cover them immediately so that the prayer is not invalidated. Another thing that invalidates prayer is eating and drinking during prayer, because this is contrary to the sunnah of the Prophet and to the structure and system of prayer. Now, my friends, who among you can tell me about the ruling on someone who has food between his teeth and accidentally swallows it during prayer? Wonderful. If one has food about the size of a pea between his teeth and swallowed them without intending to do so, his prayer is valid. Laughter also invalidates prayer. This invalidates the prayer if the person praying meant to laugh and the people around him heard him laughing. But if the praying person is overcome by laughter and didn't do so intentionally, then there is nothing wrong and his prayer is not invalidated. As for smiling, there is nothing wrong with it and doesn't invalidate the prayer. You have done a great job listening. Thus, we have learned, my wonderful friends, there are things that invalidate prayer, and if they occur, the Muslim must repeat the prayer. Among the things that invalidate your prayer are speaking intentionally during the prayer, eating or drinking, or moving a lot. Impurity on the body or clothing also invalidates a prayer, and so does the exposure of some part of one's private parts. Here, my beloved, we have finished today's lesson. Goodbye. I will see you in another lesson.